You have actual criminals on YouTube, and then people who've never been convicted of a crime, and you have the governments reaching out to big tech to do their bidding. Are you starting to get the picture?
If you missed it, yesterday, Russell Brand had faced some additional kind of cancellations, right? And so we saw that. We talked about the one on YouTube where he was demonetized. And they actually sent a letter to both TikTok and Rumble asking them, basically pressuring them to demonetize Russell Brand for allegations, things that haven't been proven. No convictions have come down yet, but they felt compelled to send this letter anyway. So I'm going to read to you just a little bit of it here. We'd be grateful if you would confirm whether Mr. Brand is able to monetize his content. We would like to know whether Rumble intends to join YouTube in suspending Mr. Brand's ability to earn money on the platform.
Wow.
The government of the UK, one of their citizens, who has not been convicted of any crimes, only allegations, only in the press, has come out and sent letters. They didn't just say this, right? This wasn't some
mug of
parliamentary...
water, please.
Water!
By the way, guys, it's okay. We don't need to ruin the vibe in the room. I'm going to...
You'll be okay.
I've grew up around those people in Canada.
Well, that's why you left.
And by the way, these are the people who will cheer this shit.
Exactly.
They'll cheer this shit. Brian, earlier when we were doing... Just go. In run through, Brian was like, "Do you think they also emailed YouTube?" I'm like, "What? What? Yeah. No, they just emailed. They thought they'd have a better shot at shaking down Rumble. When people say private company. Here you go, private company. Yep. There you go.
Controlled by the state.
Yeah, exactly.
Private company controlled by the state.
Absolutely.
And you were talking about how important freedom of speech is. Due process is just as important.
It's gone.
Without due process, what happens is you can just tell a story about somebody and they lose everything. Do you remember the Soviet Union when you wanted somebody's apartment and you just called the authorities and said this guy was saying something bad about the government?
Yeah.
And they were shipped off to the gulag? That's a real thing.
Oh, no, it's existed for all of time. No, this is absolutely 100% a real thing. I know what you're thinking.
Then he just raided his apartment and stole his lowest jeans.
I wear low jeans because I've got great obliques.
No, I said lowest.
Oh, it's different.
Named a brand. It doesn't exist, but I think
you don't always have to make it about your hips.
I brought it back to myself again.
Okay, fine. But this is the government of the UK reaching out and doing this. Again, like I said, this isn't a political speech where they're advocating for it, which would be bad enough. This is actually a letter sent straight to these companies, and there is only one response that they should get from these companies, and I'm guaranteeing you right now that TikTok won't respond this way. I'm guaranteeing you right now that YouTube obviously did not respond this way. This is how you do it. This is Rumble CEO Chris Pavlovski. He said today...
I know him.
You do. Today we received an extremely
can I
disturbing
really
letter.
Here's why this is important. This little bastard, Chris Pavlovski, is Canadian.
Yeah, he knows.
We just watched those Canadian hags, right? That's what he was born and bred with. And by the way, of course, hopefully he realizes little bastard's a compliment. This Bo Evil, Chris Pavlovski, this guy who was raised in a nanny state sweater vest police censorship FCC bullshit, decided that he was going to start a company and flip them the bird. So you need to understand how much of a change that is for a guy like this who was Canadian, because you just saw what it's like in that country. So for him to stand up, and when we have people on the right, we have people on the biggest conservative networks who don't, because they got to get the YouTube dollar bills. That's what's enraging. Chris Pavlovski, balls of steel. Go support that guy, and thank God for Rumble. All right.
Absolutely. So his quote, today we received an extremely disturbing letter from a committee chair in the UK Parliament. We regard it as deeply inappropriate and dangerous that the UK Parliament would attempt to control who is allowed to speak on our platform or to earn a living from doing so. Singling out an individual and demanding his ban is even more disturbing given the absence of any connection between the allegation and his content on Rumble. That's a really important point. He is saying, specifically, I have a lot of problems with what you're asking me to do, but this guy didn't do anything on our platform that is in any way related to this, and now you're coming after him here. Although it may be politically and socially easier for Rumble to join a cancel culture mob, doing so would be a violation of our company's values and mission. We emphatically reject the UK Parliament's demands. So basically...
I don't think so.
With cuss words.
Let me distill this
in French
for you. Let me give you a perfect example of... Remember I've always said that YouTube, they don't follow the law. and then they create their own laws. So, for example, single-party consent, that's what allows for investigative journalism, and it has to. There's a reason that law exists. Yeah. Otherwise, you would never have, you would never have Watergate, for example, which, by the way, is child's play compared to now, but you can't expose corruption. YouTube says, no, hold on a second, the person who was filmed, even if they consent, and they don't need to consent, oh, no, they don't want it now, so we're going to remove it. So there you go, you can now remove that voice. Then they create their own new laws and new rules that, oh, wait, you were accused of something somewhere in the media, so we're going to remove this. Think about this for a second. Mike Tyson, and by the way, this is not at all to admonish Mike Tyson.
Right.
I think that Mike Tyson, if you read his book, like Mike Tyson also had some really tough breaks, and I think that he did some things that he admits to, but he was falsely maligned in a lot of ways. However, this was a guy who was convicted of serious crimes and was put in prison.
Yeah.
Okay. In other words, there was more due process there for as much as the judicial system offers due process. He couldn't have Alex Jones on his show. Alex Jones couldn't be on Hot Boxing with Mike Tyson. So you can have Mike Tyson and Sammy the Bull, but I don't Alex Jones, man. YouTube won't, they just can't. In Silicon Valley, that's too much.
It's unbelievable.
It's insane.
There's something very important about the Russell Brand thing, too. The people, according to Glenn.
I'm going to host you till you love me, YouTube dump, obviously. YouTube dump.
Dump that.
Yeah, but think about that. Yeah. So, Brian, think Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
And then Alex Jones went and filmed it with him, and then Alex Jones released it on his own platform because they were afraid to host Alex Jones. People were afraid to host Donald Trump. By the way, before any indictments, just to be clear, and Russell Brand. So actual criminals.
Yeah.
Actual criminals. They have true crime shows. Basically, Brett, and I'm not saying Mike Tyson, I'm just using that because that's a very prominent example, but you have actual criminals on YouTube and then people who've never been convicted of a crime, and you have the governments reaching out to big tech to do their bidding. Are you starting to get the picture?
Yeah, and don't just look at don't look at monetization just as loss of money. That is enough. That is enough. Like you've talked about going to war over somebody's ability to make a living, right? We've gone to war over that kind of stuff. It's also reach. Monetization affects your reach as well. If you're not monetized, your voice doesn't get out there. So they don't have to quite ban you. They can shadow ban you. They can demonetize you. They can just strike you every once in a while. It's kind of sounding a little familiar to me about the emails that we receive about stuff that we do off the platform.
But this is a really important point. It is about reach. And according to Glenn Greenwald, these journalists didn't have women come to them.
No. They
went and found this story themselves. Why now? What was it that caused them to go out and
they don't like what he's saying?
Seek these? Thank you.
Yeah, they don't like what he's saying. Look, and I want you guys to comment. What does Rumble standing up for free speech mean to you? Because when people do step out, like whatever platform you are on, I'm sure that Rumble put it out there, Chris put it out there. Make sure that you go out there and support him. Make sure that you go out there and retweet and comment and encourage. Look, Rumble has to be the pirates flicking off the rest of the industry or they're nothing, right? That's exactly what they're doing right here. They're standing up for free speech. I'm still waiting on Twitter's response.
Yeah.
We have that yet? I don't think Twitter's come out necessarily.
I wouldn't go with the pirate analogy, though, right now.
But they use the rum as the symbol.
Yeah, I know, but the rape and the pillaging, and we don't.
Well, they don't
want to
do
be
that.
into rape territory, considering the story.
They're good pirates.
Yeah.
What if they don't want to be a pirate?
Well, good pirates do rape. I don't say they're good people.
That's fair.
But I'm saying to be a good pirate, you have to rape.
Yes.
Can we all agree, guys? Don't leave me out here on the vine, right? To be a good pirate, you have to rape.
We won't leave you on the plank.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Right. Let's stay
you
with
wouldn't be
the
a pirate
metaphor.
otherwise.
No, you wouldn't be a pirate otherwise. What are you? You're just a guy in a funny funny outfit.
How about this? Privateers.
Okay, good.
There we go. We can do that. They're basically privateers. All right. Do you have something for me over there? You're gesticulating wildly.
I'm just pointing my finger up here.
All right,
but yeah,
fine.
no. Guardian UK is actually saying this. Russell Brand's Wonderland, the online soapbox where the star pushes his, quote, free speech, in quotations.
Pushes his free speech?
Yeah.
Pushes.
Yeah. His free speech. He thinks that he's entitled to due process. He thinks he has the right to actually speak it's the free speech thing again. Right? They do that with the Second Amendment. Like, oh, yeah, the Second Amendment means that you can have any gun you want so long as you're a law-abiding citizen. This doesn't erase the fact that it's a argument, dummy.
Watch Louder with Crowder live, Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern.